Hello, everybody, and welcome to Soul Talk. Today, we have a very interesting question, and I think I'd like to address that to Amita. And the question is that how do I work with meditation, or how do I use meditation in my workplace? We all are, and I think many of us, majority, whether we're working from home, whether we're working at work, or we are taking care of the home, it's still work. So, how do I bring meditation into that?
Wow, that's an excellent question because, we've been talking for the past few weeks on how we need to incorporate that meditation within our lifestyle. And so, of course, most of the day we are at work and we need to get that meditation going within that. And what I have done from when I've been working is to ensure I sort of from the very beginning of the day, as soon as I enter my workplace, I would sit on my desk, and before I do anything, I would try and I have a book which has a thought for the day. So I would look at that, thought, or you can get the calendars or even an email where you can actually get the thought for the day. And you start with a positive thought. And within that, then I'll read that thought and obviously imbibe it, think about it a little bit. And whilst I'm doing that and thinking about it, and that actual action within the mind is a sort of meditation because I've started guiding my mind in terms of thinking positively already. And so I've already started off my day at work, in the right manner. And then other techniques, like throughout the day, I can go back and refer to that thought. But we have talked about something before, like traffic control, and that is having a reminder every hour to sort of take a step back, pause for a minute, maybe think about that thought, maybe think of positive idea or something like that, and just imbibe it, think about it, churn it, or even a simple thing that I am peace. And just for even a few seconds, if you don't have the time, that is incorporating that meditation within your daily work environment. And as you think these positive thoughts, the effect of those vibrations are definitely flowing throughout of you and towards your colleague, towards the environment, and you've already started creating that meditative atmosphere. Another thing I would say is that if your company is actually, and I think most companies are now more inclined in concern about general well-being, and they are much more open to the fact of meditation, yoga at the workplace, different sessions like that. And if you have been practicing meditation, or of an expert meditation practitioner or what have you, you can actually invite them within your work environment, possibly once a month, or if you could do once a week, that'll be amazing, for even like a 30-minute session in the morning or during lunchtime, or towards the end of the day. Whatever the case is, most companies are open to that, and that allows that positive atmosphere to generate within your workplace, because meditation at the end of the day actually gets rid of stress and really helps to mellow that stress down. And that's what it has a very positive effect, especially in a work environment. So those are some of the ways you can incorporate meditation within the workplace. Of course, even before you take your lunch, before you actually take, normally people say grace and what have you, to thank God for the food that has been provided to them, that they're eating. And when you do that and you look at your food and you be appreciative of your food and give it positive vibrations, that this food that I'm eating is going to just be healthy for me, and it's going to cause my health to generate quite well, and it's going to give me the energy that I need to carry out my day. That's also a type of meditation that you're bringing, and you're ingesting this type of food, and that will definitely have a positive impact within. And once you instill these habits continuously within your workplace, or whether you're at working from home, the same thing. you need to be able to sort of instill these new habits and get used to it, and then bring it as often as possible. So maybe you do it once every 2 hours, then bring it to an hour, whatever the case is. Try and sit back, step back, and think about who you are as a being. What are your virtues, your qualities? Take that positive thought and try and practically implement that, whilst talking to your colleague. Maybe the thought is to be sweet today. So how am I talking to my colleague? How am I, approaching my work? Am I doing it with stress, or am I doing with love and sweetness? So these are all types and methods of actually meditating within the workplace. So what do you think, Janita?
I love your tools and techniques and tips that you've offered. And I think, yes, definitely, if we start working on those and implementing them, it's going to make our life much, much more at work smoother. I remember when I used to work in an office environment, and I used to actually create my own like screensaver. And when that pop up, it'll remind me that, oh, it's time to meditate. Or I'd put an alarm on my phone, and that would be a reminder, because sometimes we do get carried away and we, get lost in our work. But it is important, very important, to pause and stop. I like how you talked about even the food and how important it is, because I've noticed of late that many people fail to take their tea breaks and coffee breaks, and they're bringing their tea and coffee to the work table, like to the desk, and are still working on their computer and eating. And actually, that's not very healthy. So I think it's very important that when you do get up to go get your coffee or your tea or water or whatever it is, you remain there and you have your drink and then you return back. But bearing in mind that while you're having your drink, you can switch into a meditative state. You can remind yourself of any of the virtues or qualities or the positive thought that you picked up for the day, because it helps to boost your inner confidence and your self-esteem, to be more productive even at work. Because maybe your boss could have thrown a negative comment about your efficiency, but yet you thought you were quite efficient. Instead of being hurt or taken aback by that statement, just remind yourself that no, I am much more than that. And if perhaps he or she cannot see my potential right now, I am going to make effort to ensure that my potential does shine out or shine through. But if I'm going to be taking my tea break at my desk, I'm not going to think these thoughts. I'm going to be focused on my work, trying to meet the deadline or whatever it is that I'm working on. So this is something that I would really, really recommend to all those who work at an office, in an office environment, or even from home at your desk, because now literally everything is all online. As you take that break, the eyes need the rest from the screen as well. And if you get so fatigued and your eyes are so tired, when you do decide, let me meditate, you're going to fall asleep. And you're not actually going to do any meditation. You're just going to go into relaxation, because that's what your body is striving for at that moment. So yeah, this is something that I feel I'd like to add to what you can do with meditation and at work. And another thing that I really liked what you said was, the vibration we start creating, and you'll start finding that around your desk, if you keep your space clean, physically and also mentally, because you're more focused and concentrated, you'll actually attract people to come to you, for the help, or will see that you have something more to offer them. And even if you're working from home, it's all right. You're also creating that space, which is a healthy space for you. And that's the aim in life, isn't it? For us to live healthy, be happy, and obviously have some wealth as well. So what do you say, Amita?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Definitely the point for cleanliness. I mean, when you, on Mondays, I don't know, it's one of those days where like all of a sudden the work has doubled or, quadrupled. And then when it comes to Friday, it's more at ease. But what happens during the weekend that all of a sudden everything just builds up on Monday? So it shouldn't really have that impact. In fact, if you had that more time on the Friday, then prepare yourself for the Monday ahead, and then when you come into work or you're sitting at your desk at home, you are able to focus because everything is ready, for you to go. And then your to-do list is ready. You already know what you're supposed to do. And that sort of process and systematic approach basically allows the cleanliness also within the mind, because then you already know, okay, I'm starting off my day right. And so I'm obviously going to end my day off right, because whatever I can do, I can do. And there's no point putting the extra pressure. And when you do feel that you are under extreme pressure at this point and you're going to blow out or whatever it is, that is the, indication which actually tells you that, okay, I need to, meditate right now. I need to maybe go for a walk outside quickly, just a brisk walk, and, start relaxing my mind, start walking through my mind in the thought processes and slowing down. So that is becoming more mindful within the mind. What am I doing? What am I thinking? And then come back, rather than forcing and say, I don't have time for a walk, or I don't have time, like what you said, like go and have your lunch or your break. Because, if you're sitting on your computer and you don't have time and you think you're multitasking, in actual fact, somewhere something is actually compromising. And whether it's your health or your mind or both, whatever the case is, something is being compromised. So taking that moment for the self, you basically really, you are actually creating that wealth within the mind, because your mind is then becoming more wealthier, not just physically becoming more wealthy. And you will find that you have more ideas to contribute, and people will be astonished at what you can come up with and how efficient you are. Also, I've noticed I'm extremely efficient. And I think it is because of meditation. It's because, my mind is clear. I can think clearly, and then I just know I have to do this, this, and that, and just get going and doing it without any other waste thoughts or negative thoughts coming within the mind. No matter what happens around the office, you are that foundation to give that that vibration within that office.
Those moments of silence become that like eureka moment where that aha, that like, yeah, okay, that's the idea, that's what I was looking for. And if we don't have more of those silent moments, we're not going to have those ideas, that those profound suggestions. And they will only come when we start to slow down. It sounds very contradictory, because everything's about rush, get there, like it's always towards the future. But the future will come. It'll come if your present is there. If you're right in the moment, you will automatically fly into the future. But if you're living in the future without being there at that moment, you're not going to achieve anything, actually. You're actually going to be wasting your time, like you very rightly said. And we don't want to waste time. Time really now is of the essence. And we need to be smart workers now. Work not laboriously. We can't be laboring. And when we struggling and we being stressed, that's actually you laboring. You need to be very smart, and to be smart, you need to be silent. It's again, I just find sometimes somebody will just say, oh, but doesn't it just seem like I'm not doing anything? No, actually, you're doing a lot more than you think, because you will definitely be more and more efficient. So I would definitely recommend meditating, taking those tips of, reading the thought for the day, or having a calendar that has got positive affirmations, setting sort of a system where you take hourly breaks, if possible, where you just shift your consciousness. And at the same time, taking those tea breaks, lunch breaks, and emanating those positive vibrations even in that, because in turn, it's going to bring a beautiful relationship amongst your colleagues, your boss, and also help the company excel. So there's just benefit after benefit after benefit. So on that note, Amita, can you take us into a short meditation?
So sit back, relax, take a moment to go within the mind and realize your energy, your spiritual self, the pure being, filled with light and filled with might. As you sit in the consciousness of the light and might, feel yourself empowering the energy around you. Feel your mind becoming clearer and from expansion, everything is going into the essence. Feel the concentration. And as you concentrate, feel the power increasing. From a tiny point of light to a bright shining sunshine, where you're emanating enough light to get rid of any stress, any worry, any tension, any negativity. These are all being eliminated by this bright light. Now come back to that concentration, that point that you are. And experience the power of peace, clarity, and knowledge. And as you experience this, you find you've created space for new ideas, for creativity, and compassion for everyone. With that, come back with a new perspective for the day. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. That was very, very refreshing. And I think that's what we'd like to feel when we bring meditation at work, refreshed rather than tired. So thank you so much. Thank you, Amita, for your insights, and thank you all for tuning in. And please do continue to send us your questions, and we'll be most honored to answer them and share our opinions about them.
Thank you.